All right, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about how to help clients close more sales. Why do we want to help clients close more sales? Well, it's very simple. Usually when clients want to cancel, okay, or they don't feel that your service is worth it, it's because they're not closing the sales from the leads that you're sending them. Very rarely do I find that I can't get a client enough leads. That almost never happens, and if it does happen, it's very quick to fix. What happens more often is that clients don't close the leads we send them because they don't answer the phone or they don't call them back. And even though that's the client's fault, they're going to blame you. They're going to feel that your leads suck, whatever, and they're not going to hire you for the next month and the next month after that. So we need to prevent this from happening right out of the gate. Thankfully, there is a way that we can help our clients close more sales, and we can automate this process as well, okay? So the way I actually discovered this, and I found this out, was I was running ads for a buddy of mine. For full transparency, it was not a client. It was actually the gym that I was going to train jiu-jitsu. And I've since moved from that city, so I don't go there anymore. But as a favor to a friend, and because it only took me like 10 minutes to throw his ad up, I ran his Facebook ads. And I usually took me about 10 minutes to throw his ad up, and that ad would work just fine for months. And the problem was, though, that he would never answer the phone. He was terrible at it. He would never answer the phone. He would never call people back. And I would tell him, I'd come into class, I'd say, hey, I took a peek at your ad account today. I noticed you got 3 leads today. Did you call them? And I'm like, and he's like, oh, crap, man, I saw that come in. I just haven't had a chance to call him. I said, dude, that was like 6 hours ago. He's like, yeah, I'll call him. I'm like, you're probably not going to convert them to sales. You see, the truth is that we have a 15-minute window. 15-minute window. And this 15-minute window is the window where we are most likely to turn a prospect into an appointment, or turn a prospect into a sale, or turn a prospect into a member, or whatever it is you're doing. Okay? If you're a real estate agent and you need to get an appointment with your buyer or your seller, and you get a lead for that prospect, you have 15 minutes. If you can call that prospect within 15 minutes, the chances of you actually getting that appointment are extremely high. The reason for this is that people act when their mind is on when their eye is on the prize. Okay? So if someone is thinking about buying a house, maybe, things happen in their life that distract them. Maybe it was just they looked at their wife or husband and said, we should buy a new house. And so for the next 15 minutes, all they can think about is this new idea they have. And if that realtor can call them within 15 minutes, say, hey, let's set an appointment. Hey, I've got some great properties for you. Now they get excited. And now they're like, okay, we're going to do this. But if 2 hours goes by, maybe in that 2 hours, they were like, maybe we shouldn't buy a new house. Or they start thinking about other things or other goals or other things they have to do. Oh, crap, you know what? We really need to focus on getting our taxes done this month, or whatever it is. So now when you call them back, their mind is on something else. And so the chances that they'll actually set that appointment or even still be interested in whatever it was, maybe they were interested in jiu-jitsu classes for their kid, but 2 hours later they're thinking, maybe we should do ballet. But if you can get on the phone with them within 15 minutes, their mind is still hot on that idea, and you can make that appointment, you can get them to come in, you can get them on the phone, whatever, and you can turn it into a sale. So the 15-minute window is crucial. So how do we get our clients to get on the phone with their prospects within 15 minutes? Well, this is how. So there are 2 main methods of running Facebook ads that I've discussed during this training. Number 1 is the crazy discount funnel, and number 2 is messenger ads, okay? If you do messenger ads and you make sure that your client has a salesperson or they have the Facebook page manager on their phone. So number 1, if you're doing messenger ads, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the page manager app is installed on your client or their salesperson's phone. The reason, and that push notifications are turned on. So Page app is on their phone, and push notifications are turned on. Make them agree to do that, okay? As well, if you want to even go further than that, you can set up a bot that will message your client, okay, or keep messaging the prospect to pick up the phone or what have you. You can get crazy with automation. But the biggest thing is if they have the Page app on their phone and they have push notifications on, when someone messages their page, it'll pop up as if it was a text or a Facebook message on their regular personal messenger. So that's huge for that. The second one, however, is a little cooler. This one, if they see the ad, here's your ad, they go to the landing page, they click through, and they see the thank you page, right? So what happens here is once they've seen the thank you page and they've clicked through the landing page, they've entered in their info. And that info is their name, email, and phone. At this point, we are going to use some automation. You can use a variety of different, you can use everything from Infusionsoft to Twilio to ActiveCampaign. I think the easiest one to use is ActiveCampaign. So what we're going to do at this point is we are going to send a text to our prospect. So this is our prospect. We're going to send a text. This text is simply going to say, "Hi, thank you for requesting a free week," or whatever it is you're doing. We'll give you a call soon. If you can't wait, please call us at this number. Boom. That encourages the prospect to call your client. As well, there's usually a CTA, which is call to action on the thank you page, to also encourage them to call the client. Past that, that's all we can do. Your client must answer the phone. However, the biggest problem I have with clients is that they don't call their prospects back. So here's what we do. Here is your client's phone, right? What we're going to do is we're going to take this information and we're going to send 3 texts to your phone. The first, to the client's phone. The first text is immediately, ASAP. And that text is going to say, and this is how you word this. You say, "Hi, this is Dan Henry." So if your name is John Smith and you're the ad agency owner, you're going to say, "Hi, this is John Smith. I've just got a lead for you." Now, why do we do this? Number one, it reminds them that we got a lead for them and they're getting their money's worth because they just got a text that said, "Hey, it's Dan Henry, you got a lead." So they're like, "Oh, Dan Henry got me a lead." Boom. Instantly increases the value in their brain. So one thing that a lot of you might be thinking about my stance on reporting is that if we don't send our clients weekly reporting, they won't see the value in our service. Well, if we want to really show them the value, we'll send them an immediate text every single time they get a lead that says, "Hey, it's Dan Henry, I got you a lead." Okay? Now, if they get 5 leads a day, that's 5 reminders to them that our service is awesome. Okay? So boom, that's the first strategy we do. So we say, "Hi, this is Dan Henry. I just got you a lead. Please call this lead right away so you can close the sale." So the next thing we do is we encourage the sale. So I'll actually write this out here. So what you want to do is you want to remind. Number 1 is remind. Number 2 is encourage. And number 3 is give the info. Remind them that you got them a lead. "Hey, this is Dan Henry here. I just got you a lead." Encourage them to call because why? Make sure you call this lead right away so that you can close the sale or so that you can get a new lead or so you can get a new patient if it's a doctor, whatever. You can get a new buyer if it's a real estate agent. Encourage. And number 3, give the info. Here's the lead's info: name, email, phone number. Okay? And if you because the phone number's in there, they can literally just click on the phone number and call that lead. So we do this immediately. Then 15 minutes later, we send another one. And we do this process again. Hey, Dan Henry again, just so you know, hey, Dan Henry, hey, it's Dan Henry. I just wanted to make sure that you called that lead from 15 minutes ago. It's statistically proven that if you call your lead within 15 minutes, you have 500% whatever chance of closing them. You have a 5 times chance of closing them than if you waited. And then you give them the info, name, email, phone number. That's 15 minutes later. Finally, 45 minutes later, which would be 60 minutes from, so really 60 minutes, 45 from the 15, but 60 minutes from the original point that they opt in, you send a final text and you say, hey, this is Dan Henry. This is one final reminder to call your lead that I sent you an hour ago. Please don't forget. Here's, I would love you to land a new customer. Here's the info. Now, you may think that this will annoy the crap out of your client. Guess what? It will. But you know what? They'll love it. If we circle back to the, I told the story before about the MMA gym owner that I was running a campaign for. It was the school I went to. It was a buddy of mine. I ran his campaigns. He could never call people back. So I came up with this solution. And what happened was I talked to him a few days after I implemented this. And I said, hey, coach, how are you doing with the leads now? Is it annoying getting a text from me constantly? And he says, yes, it is annoying. But you know what? I've scheduled 6 appointments. It is super annoying. My phone blows up, but it makes me call the lead back. And you know what? That's what I needed. And now I'm getting people to actually come into the gym. And you know what? About 3 weeks later, the size of the class that I walked into had doubled. Okay? It had doubled. So the bottom line here is that your clients sometimes need a little bit of help. And you can't just say, well, that's your responsibility. No, we need to do our part to help a little bit. And this sequence that you can set up takes 5 minutes to set up an active campaign. You set it up, boom, you're done. And now your client, the chance that your client is going to close your leads is much higher, which means that the chance that they're going to keep you around month after month after month is also much, much higher as well. So that right there is a very simple method on how you can help your clients close more sales so that they keep you around.